Okay, so what if you need to add data to a table? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to switch over to this yellow worksheet, which is the 2016 tours, and we're going to scroll down to the very end of this table, and we're going to go down to cell A65, and we're going to start typing in a new record. And when I do so, I'm going to go ahead and type in Pearls of the Orient. And because there's already a Pearls of the Orient in this worksheet, I can hit the tab key on my keyboard when I see that it pops up in cell A65. When I hit the tab key, it's automatically going to add this and make it a new row to the current table. So then I want to put in the date of 7/25/16. I want to hit the tab key, and then the number of days is 14. The seat capacity is 50. 0 seats reserved because this is assumed to be a new entry, so there wouldn't be any seats reserved yet. The price is going to be $2,400. And notice, because these sales had already, and remember, this is a new worksheet than the one that we just did. We didn't do any formatting on this one. So in this column, the numbers in this column is formatted using the accounting style. I know this is accounting because the dollar signs are at the far left-hand side. And it also has no decimals. Now, in this case, it's considered to be a custom format, but it's really accounting with no decimals. So anyway, we want to come down here. Airfare included is yes, it is. And is insurance included? No, it's not. Now, what if you had a table and it was already sorted in a particular order, and let's say it was a rather small table. Now, this table has currently 64 records in it because we're using 65 rows plus one header row in row 1. What we're going to do is we want to go to cell A6 right here, and we want to insert a new row right here. So if you take your mouse and right click on top of the header for row 6 and then go to insert rows, it'll insert a new blank row here, and you can enter information here. So again, in this case, we're assuming the reason for doing so in the middle like this is because this table is already sorted. It's in some order, although it doesn't necessarily have to be. So we want to type in Yellowstone, which, if you'll notice right above it in row 5 is Yellowstone. So I want to hit the tab key, and that's going to take me to the depart date. And then I want to type in the date of January the 28th, 1/28/16. And again, I'm using the tab key to move across. So this is going to be, it's an 18-day trip, and it has a 51 seat capacity. Again, because it's a new entry, there is 0 on reserve. And the cost is $1,850. And again, when I hit the tab key, it automatically is going to take that number and format it using the format that was used previously in this table. And then is airfare included? Yes, it is. And then insurance included? Yes, it is. All right. So now the next thing we're going to do is, what if you need to insert a new field into this table? Well, our fields are, they go across the column. So the fields are tour, depart date, number of days, seat capacity, and so forth. What if we need to add a new field for this so that we can add additional information for each record? Just like you added a new record to this table, you can add a new field to this table. So what we're going to do is come over here to cell I1, and we're going to type in the words seats available. And when I do so, I hit the enter key. Note how the new column is automatically formatted as part of this table, and it changes. Not only do you get the physical appearance of a table, but you also get the functionality of a table, and it adds automatically this filter button. All right, so the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to use a feature called Find and Replace. Now, you don't necessarily have to be inside of a table to use this feature, but we're just learning it within the context of a table. So what we're going to do is we're going to click somewhere inside this table, doesn't matter where, and under the Home tab, we're going to come over here under the Find and Select button that's under this editing group, and we're going to click that. And we want to type in the Find field. First of all, we want to click the Find button. And what this is going to do, it's going to enable us to find something specific that we type here inside this box right here. So I'm going to type in Old Japan. And what we're going to do is we're going to click Find Next. And as you can see, that this first occurrence of the phrase Old Japan is automatically highlighted, because maybe we're trying to find all of the Old Japan tours, because maybe it's going to require that you have it's going to be a longer trip, or maybe it's going to be a shorter trip. So you want to the number of days, you want to be able to change that, and you want to easily find all the occurrences of Old Japan. Well, then when I click on Find Next, again, it takes us to the next occurrence of Old Japan. And again, the first two Old Japans, those are 21 days long. When I click Find Next the third time, it tells us that the number of days is 21 days. Again, click it a fourth time, and it shows me that this occurrence is also 21 days. And then at this point, it takes us back up to the top. So when we get at the end of the table, it starts over. So again, if we needed to quickly find all of the Old Japans and replace the number of days, we easily could do so. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to come back here, and we're going to click the I want to close this out, and I want to come back again and click Find and Select, and this time I want to click Replace. Now, because I had just looked for Old Japan, that is still in there. And what I want to do is I want to use a feature to find all occurrences of the country Ireland. But what we're going to do is we're going to do this in a different way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace where it says Find What. I'm going to type in a capital I and then an R and then an asterisk. And then down here in the Replace field, I want to type this with Scotland. Now, what this does is this will allow you to find all words in this table that starts with IR. Okay, so it would even find the words iron and hair and bird and any other word in here that starts with IR. Okay, now, so really we should probably be typing in the name of the country Ireland, but maybe we've got multiple countries in here that has this IR in here. All right. Well, there's other things we can do to this. So if you come down here under where it says Search Options and click Match Case, what that's going to do is it's going to require that any word that shows up in this search actually starts with a capital I, meaning we're only looking for proper names, and that way it would not return the words iron or hair or bird or any other word that has the letters IR in sequence as part of the word. So again, we're specifically looking to match the case of the capital letter I with R. So if there's another country out there that starts with the letters IR, it would find those too. And in reality, you would probably know if there was another country out here that you had the words IR in any sequence in it. In this case, it's going to require that it start with the letters with a capital I and then the letter R, and then any other, for example, Iran. Iran starts with IR. So now I don't know that anybody's trying to take a trip to Iran, but if there was a trip in here somewhere for Iran, it would find it in here with this particular search. So what we're going to do anyway, we're going to click Find Next, and it shows you right here, it says biking in Ireland. Well, we want to go ahead, and you can either click Replace All, and it would find all of occurrences of a country or of a word that starts with capital I and then an R. But what I'm going to do is click Replace. I'm going to do this one at a time. And it says it cannot match the active cell to make a replacement. Okay, so let me just go ahead and click Replace All then and see what happens. Okay, it says we've made 3 replacements. So basically it found 3 occurrences of a country that started with IR, which again we can assume is Ireland, because I don't know how many people are wanting to travel to Iran. No offense to Iran. All right. So now that we've done that, we want to come over here and we'll click this X to close out this window. And now we're going to move on and delete table data. So what would happen if you wanted to delete a record or a field from a table? That's what we're going to learn now.